Hi. Even if we all want to do a no buy or a low buy year, we still need to buy some things. So these are 25 guilt free things you should be spending your money on in 2025, if you can afford it. Because we're not trying to go broke or go into debt or put any money on your credit cards. Services for something you don't want to do. For me, it's laundry. I've spent decades going to the laundromat. I live in New York City. I've never had a washer dryer in my apartment unit or even my building. I've always had to go around the corner to the laundromat, and it just makes me miserable because you're constantly spending time, like a couple hours in a cramped New York City laundromat with people constantly in the way or you're in their way. It's just crowded and uncomfortable, or you're running back home and then running back to the laundromat, and then somebody's touched your laundry and put your wet laundry in a cart, and I just hate that. So I spent decades doing my own laundry at the laundromat, and it's made me miserable. So after a certain point, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to pay to drop it off. It's probably like 2 or 3 times more expensive, but I can afford it, and I'm willing to scrimp and save on other parts of my budget during the month just so I can have my laundry drop off service, because it's worth every penny to me to not be miserable sitting in the laundromat all weekend or whenever and just being uncomfortable. So if you have some sort of service that you can afford that would make your life better and not make you miserable, then just do that. It's just better to spend the extra money and not be miserable. Travel, we should spend our money on experiences, not things. So if you just spend part of your money on travel during the year, you should do that without feeling any guilt. And it doesn't have to be an extravagant trip. It doesn't have to be thousands of dollars. It can just be a weekend trip or a long weekend away, camping. You can just do any type of travel within your budget, from, cheap long weekends to full-blown vacations, depending on what you can afford and what your finances are. For me, it's allergy shots, but for you, it could just be some sort of maintenance, medical or doctor maintenance to help with your health. They're not mandatory, but it could help you feel better. So for me, it's allergy shots. I've been going for a few years. It's just, maybe like less than $15 now once a month. So that's totally worth it. And I can do that guilt free, and it helps my allergies. They're still not perfect, but they're better. Things that you can't do for yourself or that are really difficult for you to do for yourself. So it's just easier to and better to pay for a service. For me, it's to have my groceries delivered. Again, I live in New York City. I don't have a car. So schlepping groceries home from the grocery store on a weekly basis, it would also just make me miserable. So it's worth every penny to just pay the $6 or $7 in delivery fee and have my groceries delivered. So for you, it could be, maybe paying for a gardener to come mow your lawn if you hate mowing your lawn. So it's just like certain things that you don't want to do yourself, and they're worth your peace of mind to have somebody else do it for you. Meals out. Maybe not all the time, but eating with friends is a good way to just feel better and happier. Spending time with loved ones, eating together communally, it's just good for your mental health. So it's always good to eat out with friends. Coffee is always good. Maybe you drink tea. It's not so expensive that you need to feel guilty about it if you buy coffee every now and then. For me, I go into my office once or twice a week. So on those days, I have coffee, but on days that I work from home, I just have my coffee at home. But so it's a kind of a little treat. If I have to go into the office anyway, I might as well make it a perk to be able to get some coffee. Netflix and YouTube for me, or it's for whatever streaming service you enjoy. Don't feel guilty about maybe having 1 or 2 streaming services if you're going to use it. But I had a bunch more than that. I think I'm going to cancel my HBO Max. So, it's good to have some sort of entertainment that you can rely on. And for me, it's Netflix. If you can share a family plan with your family or friends, even better. Occasional help. So if you need help with your housekeeping or home organization, and you just keep putting it off and you're living kind of in a mess or it's just getting out of hand, just pay the extra money to have your friend help you or somebody help you. I had my friend come over to help me. So that was really beneficial to me because, yeah, I could organize by myself, but it's kind of hard to self-motivate. So if you're paying somebody to help you, it's really going to just give you that extra push to get things done, and they can just bounce ideas. You can bounce ideas off of them and they can give you their professional input. So if you need occasional help with certain things around the house, pay for it rather than just living in a disorganized home that makes you stressed out. Dentist. People who go to the dentist and take care of their teeth regularly and go to the dentist maybe once or twice a year, they live longer and are healthier. I read that somewhere. So, I mean, you can fact check that, but it makes sense because then you're just taking care of your overall health on a regular basis. You're on top of things. So it makes sense that if you go to the dentist regularly, that you will have better overall health. Some sort of news outlet. I mean, if you can get your news for free, that's great. I subscribe to the New York Times because I get so much more out of it because I use the Times, I get the cooking, games, and Wirecutter. So that is one news outlet that I'm willing to pay for that is worth it to me. Rent, internet, gas, and electricity. So those four things you have to pay for every month anyway, so don't feel guilty about that. You basically have to. Buy less and be more sustainable, but if you need some clothes, you can buy a few clothes every year. I'm going to drastically try to cut down on my clothes purchases because I normally spend like thousands a year on clothes. But I'm also like, I do social media and I make videos, so I always want to like look a certain way and express myself through my clothes. But I'm going to try to cut down this year and just keep it to like maybe I think I saw another video where they said to keep it to like under a certain number of like maybe 5 items a year. So anyway, I'm just going to try to cut down on clothes, but I still will buy clothes. For me, it's fragrances. So I will allow myself within budget to buy certain fragrances, maybe not every month, but throughout the year, I'll allow myself to buy some and maybe set some sort of budget or some sort of guideline on how many to buy so that I don't go off the rails. So, but if you have a hobby, feel free to continue paying for that hobby. Just make sure that it's within your budget. Every year, you're going to have to spend some money on birthday presents for family. So set aside some money every year for those types of purchases. Fitness. So I don't like gym memberships. I've been working out at home for over 10 years, which has been great. I've got gym equipment at home and I've been able to maintain my health and muscle tone by working out at home. But after a certain point, it's been 10 years, it kind of gets hard to motivate myself and just working out at home alone and just following the same routine. So I've recently started taking classes at a gym in my neighborhood, and I don't pay for the membership because I don't want to get roped into like the sign up fee, then the mid-year fee, and the cancellation fee, and it's too much. So I'm willing to pay a little bit more for gym classes where I don't have to pay for a membership, but I can just buy one-off a la carte gym classes, but not get roped into a membership subscription type of scam, which they're all scams. So I'll gladly pay $10 to $15 more per class than members do to not have to pay for membership. But pay for your health. Don't feel guilty about it. It's going to serve you well in the long run to just maintain your health. So if you need to pay for gym classes or an expensive membership, if you want to go to a bougier gym and you can afford it, do that. But pay for your fitness. Eye doctor, your eye health is important. One thing I'm going to pay for this year is a photo shoot. I want to do a photo shoot every year just to kind of like document myself, how I'm aging, what I look like every year, and have a professional do it. There's so many amazing photographers that I admire and love their work, and I want to just hire them to do my portrait. So that's something that I'm willing to pay for every year. And so for me, it's a photo shoot. For you, maybe it's something extravagant or a little bougie thing you want to do for yourself, or some sort of pampering thing you want to do for yourself every year. If you can afford it, do that. Music. I pay for Spotify. Maybe you use Apple Music or you just like to buy albums, but music is good for your mental health and well-being. It can make you feel better when you're sad. It can soothe you when you're stressed out. So music is important, and I'm willing to pay a monthly subscription fee to Spotify. But if you can get your music for free, even better, listen to the radio. But if you want to pay for music, do it and don't feel guilty about it. Donations. So it's okay to donate every year to your favorite charity. So make some space in your budget to donate to a charity because it's going to come up, like you'll find a GoFundMe, you'll come across a GoFundMe that's you want to support, or maybe your friend needs some help. So it's okay to spend money on donations. Home decor. So we don't want to get into constantly zhuzhing up your home and buying new throw pillows or new decor all the time. But if you've got an area in your home that you could just make a little bit nicer, if you have a little thing that is going to make your home brighter and happier and more pleasing to you, buy it.
This is Editing Bougie. I cannot believe I forgot to record the number one thing you should buy in 2025 guilt-free is your future. If you buy your future now, your future self will thank you when you get there. And you do that by putting money in your savings account, investing, put money in your 401k or your Roth IRA, buy low index mutual funds. I'm not an investing channel, but just invest for your future. You will thank yourself later. If I had started investing when I was in my 20s, I'd have $100,000 more than I have now. So start investing in your 20s if you can, but at any point in your life, it's good to do that. So buy your future. You will thank yourself later.
Let's maybe consume more responsibly, more sustainably, and within reason in 2025. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.